Hey everyone, how's it going? Gamer Geek here, and today we don't really have a whole lot going on, unfortunately. Just some minor updates, and I'll probably promote the Patreon or something, but who am I kidding? You've all read the title of the video, you saw the hype on Discord, you already know what's going on. It's time for some voice auditions. That's right, we're finally looking for some voice actors to bring these characters to life, and finally putting an end to what has easily been the most asked question I've received in DMs ever. Yeah, that's right, I was just playing with you earlier about having nothing to report for the week and shamelessly promoting the Patreon. $10 makes you an NPC in the game with some custom dialogue. It's cool, you should totally get it. It's only like $10, it's pretty affordable. So in today's video, we'll be breaking down how you, yes you in the red shirt, can audition to potentially be a voice actor for the game, talking about some major updates made to the game, and discussing the future of Beta 2 in terms of planned gameplay and features. So let's get into it, starting with what everyone has been waiting for, the Patreon. Nah, I'm just kidding, we're starting with the voice auditions. Seriously though, it's only like $10. Okay, so you want to be a voice actor for the game, but you don't know where to start. Well, luckily for you, this video's got you covered. For starters, we're only looking for 3 characters right now: Flash, Reverse Flash, and the Arrow. Yeah, we'll eventually be looking for more voice actors for other characters, but these 3 are the only ones currently implemented for now. So if you were really wanting to audition for the likes of Jay Garrick or Godspeed, good news is you have a little more time to perfect your impression of your favorite speedster before it's go time. So pick who you want to audition for out of the available 3. You're more than welcome to audition for more than one character if you'd like, and record the series' iconic lines from the show that we've picked out for each character.
My name is Barry Allen. I am the fastest man alive. Lightning gave me abs.
It's not Barry, you know what my name is, but my name's Bartholomew Henry Allen. That's not a good name.
Because when it comes to family, when it comes to the people that we all love, we're all vulnerable. None of us are above making a wrong decision.
You said the city was safe, that there was no residual danger. But that's not true, so what really happened that night?
What? No Big Belly Burger? It's one of the few perks of living in this time. We're out of cows where I come from. You don't care about that. You have questions, go ahead. What matters is that neither of us was strong enough to defeat the other. Until I learned your secret. I learned your name. Barry Allen. And finally, I knew how to defeat you once and for all. Travel back in time, kill you as a child, wipe you from the face of the earth. But then you, future you, that is, followed me back and we fought.
Well, you do, Barry. We've been at this a long time, you and I, but I'm always one step ahead. It is your destiny to lose to me, Flash, just as it was your mother's destiny to die that night.
So why come to me? Something tells me you didn't just run 600 miles to say hi to a friend. I don't think that bolt of lightning struck you, Barry. I think it chose you.
Barry, how can you have super speed and still not be on time?
Living this life, well, it takes more than a mask. It takes discipline. And since you are probably as stubborn as I am, you're gonna run over there, you're gonna come back at me, and you're gonna get hit with an arrow.
Don't worry, you don't need to remember the lines. We'll have them all listed for each character on Discord for you to read off of if you need it. So pick a character or characters to audition as, read the lines, and save the recording. From there, just send it to us. Head on over to our community Discord server, post the audio file for your audition using the format on screen in the Auditions channel, and wait for a callback. If we like what you got and think you sound pretty close to the character you tried out for, we'll privately message you to let you know that you're being pushed forward for a second round of consideration. The top 3 entries for each character will also be implemented into Beta 2 for the community to actively play with and see who they like the best. A word of warning though, to those who don't listen, follow the format when submitting an audition. Any submissions into the Audition channel that don't follow the requested format will just be deleted without consideration faster than Thawne deleted Barry's mom. So get recording, and I'm super excited to hear the submissions. Keep in mind the window for submitting an audition, for these characters at least, is until Sunday, November 21st. That gives everyone 2 weeks to deliver the best auditions they can do. Good luck to everyone thinking of auditioning, and I'm really excited to see what we get. Moving past the voice auditions though, let's talk about development. The current plan for the upcoming beta, which is subject to change, is to include 2 new game modes, updated variations of the last 3 game modes, and the opening scene of the game's story so the community can get a feel for the narrative direction. The subject for the 2 new game modes will be decided by a community vote, just as the CSI mission was in Beta 1. So aside from new game modes, what can you expect out of Beta 2? Well, for starters, a big one the community was really insisting I get working in the game was the combat system. So far, I've only ironed out Flash and Reverse Flash, but Arrow's abilities are next on my to-do list. Flash can throw a ball of lightning and create a massive tornado, while Reverse Flash can sprint around you similar to when he killed Nora Allen and give you the vibrating hand of doom. The next step, after giving Arrow his abilities, would be to implement the combat system into the different game modes where possible. Why just catch Reverse Flash when you can kick his ass too? Why not make one of the new game modes entirely based on combat? We've already discussed adding random metas to free roam for you to fight too. There's a lot of potential for what we can do with this combat system, so I'm really excited to keep working on it. Keep in mind the particle system for each of these abilities is subject to change later on. These are just placeholder effects for now. Something else being added to the second beta is an updated pedestrian system. I heard the complaints, I saw the screenshots, I realized these assholes were walking in the middle of the road and were sometimes impossible to avoid for our speedster community. Well, I went ahead and fixed the problem, meaning they'll stick to the sidewalk now and won't try to jump in front of you while you fly down the road at 1,000 miles per hour. If they continue to jump in front of you, I definitely didn't program to do that. You should probably delete what you're playing because it isn't my beta. Moving past the pedestrians though, let's talk about the terrain. The game world got a massive update recently with the landscape actually having texture on it. The river is actually full, the ground has dirt, grass, mud, and whatever else the ground typically has. It looks good. My only concern is it comes with a bit of a performance hit. Nothing too bad, just a minor drop in FPS when rendering the foliage as you run through it. Since I know some people already have issues keeping up with the graphical requirements of the game though, I could potentially eliminate the foliage entirely and just have a flat texture on the ground. I know some commenters are quick to say make it toggleable, but that's unfortunately not something I can do with how the materials are set up. I might be able to make that kind of change further along in development, but I can't make any guarantees. Definitely let me know what you think in the comments section and I'll go from there. If the community likes the foliage, I'll keep it. I'm absolutely not against making this game look pretty with things like foliage or making it open world like I had posted about on Discord. My only goal is to make this game adequately playable for as many people as I can. But if you guys vote as a community to make it a more high-end game, then I'm all for it 110%, just as long as it's what the fans want, which is what I wanted out of this game since the beginning, to make what the fans wanted. Speaking of the graphical quality, let's look at how I fixed that damn graphics slider. I didn't! I just got rid of it and broke it down into several buttons. The slider was a cool gimmick for sure, but very finicky to say the least. Even when I adjusted it to not snap back to the top quality every time, the game still had issues preserving the value of the slider in my game instance, the asset used to store values for those who don't know. The reason for this is because of how much information the game has to process from that slider. It had to recalculate your view distance, texture quality, your shadow quality, all during runtime, and it also had to keep track of what value you last set it to. Rather than waste so much time trying to get it to work properly, I just did away with it and switched to a simple button layout. I figured why go with a neat gimmick that doesn't always work rather than just the less flashy option that works every time. So now, you don't have to worry about the graphics getting stuck at max value because it can't happen. Just press the button and play, it's as simple as that. Something else I've been working on was getting alternate skins to work properly. I know a ton of people were very quick to point out that the lightning trails did not match the alternate skins in Beta 1. Like a lot of people pointed that out. A lot. So I changed it. I put so much focus though on each skin having unique animation blueprints and everything that I sort of lost track what the purpose of an alternate skin was. I was building up each skin like its own separate character rather than what they should have been, a cosmetic change. So I redid how the alternate skins were set up and now they all work perfectly. Each alternate skin has their own unique trail with the exception of Reverse Flash's skins, as each variation of the character always has a red trail. And they run off the base character's animation blueprint now. This unfortunately means we don't have things like DCEU Flash sprinting around like a deranged figure skater, but like I said earlier, it's a cosmetic change only, not an entirely separate character. I also had to do away with the unique animations for skins because they were interfering with the game detecting the flash time lean game mechanic. Flash time leaning is detected and measured in real time through the character's animation blueprint. Changing skins the old way meant the animation blueprint being referenced by the game's code wasn't the same one being used by the character. To summarize what I said in a less rambly way that makes more sense, using alternate skins the old way effectively turned off flash time leaning. Setting it up the new way makes everything function normally at the cost of Ezra Miller's goofy run. I'd consider it a small price to pay for stability in the gameplay though. Speaking of stability in the game, let's take a look at something I've been working on to reduce memory draw required to run the game and to make it play more efficiently. I started dividing the city into sub-levels and am focused on organizing level streaming volumes to make essentially half the city disappear when you get far enough away. From a distance, it looks like nothing much has changed, or maybe that you've gone so far away you just can't see as much. But I have the game unload a good majority of the city to make it run more efficiently despite the size of the game world. So what else has Gamer been working on as we move closer to the expected release date of Beta 2? Well, I've been finalizing the layout of the city primarily, making sure it's expansive enough for players to explore without being so big it's essentially a maze. I'm working on adding in some fictional landmarks too, like Central City Park, Jitters, and Star Labs. The plan is for Central City to be completely done in terms of layout by the time Beta 2 comes out. The specific building models and other assets are subject to change if need be, but the layout of the city will stay pretty much the same from here on out. I'm also working with Comic Books vs. the World, yes he's still alive, to push any themes, skins, and concepts he wants in the videos and upcoming beta. Seriously guys, development is really ramping up. I'm really trying to make this beta a huge leap forward from the first while making sure it's still fully functional. This means I've been tackling a lot of known glitches from the first beta to ensure we can stop whatever's causing them. So really quickly, before we close out the video, let's cover some of the more common issues with the first beta and explain what the culprit was. Falling off the edge of the city, that's because the blocking volumes that were supposed to keep you contained in the level weren't set to the right collision profile. They have since been fixed. The lightning trail slowly falling away from Flash as you run, that's because of your frame rate. After some testing, I found that if your frame rate drops below roughly 55 frames per second, the game is cycling frames slower than the particle system is set to spawn during runtime, and it leads to it detaching from Flash and falling behind him. Most graphical glitches involving the lightning trail stem from frame rate issues, meaning your PC is struggling to keep up and is causing a dip in performance. You're not able to find all the trickster presents? That's because I made it really hard by design, and I purposely wanted to make it as frustrating as possible. Call me an asshole, but I'm pretty sure it's the Dark Souls player in me that made me program it that way. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, remember to leave me a like and a comment down below. I'm also going to start uploading 2 videos a week, mostly focused on gaming as opposed to game development, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to join us over on Discord. You kind of have to for the voice auditions anyway, and consider signing up for the Patreon. There's a lot of cool perks there, and you could even become an NPC in the Flash game. Go check out the Gamer Geek's website and scroll down to the events calendar so you can stay up to date on any community events or important uploads. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you all in the next one.